Speaking of concerns, how do you guys feel about that Matrix? That Matrix Resurrections? How y'all feel about that? Um, I, let me tell you something. When I first heard about this thing, right, I was excited because I thought that they were going to go the route of the Animatrix, where they were going to introduce maybe a new idea or some new concept from within the Matrix, like the Animatrix tried to do. Like you guys remember that? It's like this animated version of the movie franchise where they have like different stories from different characters, and they kind of show their experiences in waking up through the Matrix, right? And I thought they were going to do something like that. But then when they had announced that Neo was coming back, I had concerns because I was like, why? You know, I don't know. My pet peeve in a lot of movies is that when you bring characters back from the dead, it just it kills the stakes in the seriousness of of their fate for everybody. Really, you know what I mean? Like if just keep them dead and just find a way to keep the story interesting. And I don't know. I just had a lot of worries with that. Um, and so when Trinity was coming back, I was like, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? I have no idea what's going on. Because I don't know. I'm just confused. This is the first time I'm excited and confused at the same time because Trinity died in the real world, which means she should be dead. Dead. Like she shouldn't be nowhere near in these movies no more. Neo dying in the machine world. I guess you can kind of work with that with the computers and stuff if you can write it well enough. But Trinity died in the real world, so I'm just kind of like, yo, why make this make sense, right? Um, but I don't know, man. Like, so I'll tell you what my concerns are, right? So for one, my biggest concern is that the story of this movie is not going to be as groundbreaking as the trilogy. Because at this point we all know what the Matrix is. And I think that concept of the Matrix was something beyond anything we've all ever seen. And I think it was something that we all could have related to because I remember when I was a kid, I used to just have these sort of cerebral thoughts, just kind of like being a La La Land at 10 years old or whatever the case, and just started thinking like, what if this world was not real? And what if the real world is somewhere that my conscious is actually exist? All those things about this world is not real. We're living in the matrix. I think everybody at some point had thoughts like that. And then to have a movie kind of explain that and kind of show the coolness of it all and kung fu and things like that. I thought I thought it was such ahead of its time of a film. And now in 2021, even though 2021, in my opinion, is starting to feel more and more like the Matrix, you know, the mystery of that is gone now because we all know what the Matrix is. It was told to us 20 years ago. We know what it is now. But so watching the film, I feel like there's no mystery for it now. There's no there's no reason to investigate what Neo is going through. I mean, when I go to see the Matrix Resurrections, I'm gonna feel like I'm not really necessarily investigating what the Matrix is. I'm gonna investigate why the fuck he's still alive, and why Trinity is still here. Like, why are you in the Matrix? You know what I mean? I just don't want the thought the uniqueness of this story to be tainted with this with the stigma of you know sequelitis. You know what I mean? Because even though I'm excited for a new Matrix movie, the trilogy, as much flack as it gets, I thought it was fine. I thought it was perfect. And I enjoyed the trilogy still. and I just don't know what reason they would have to bring it back again. You know what I mean? Like, take for instance the CGI. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, like the visual effects of the first Matrix, like the introduction of bullet time and all that kind of stuff. Really groundbreaking stuff, things that nobody has ever seen, right? And it really did actually. I think it won an Oscar for that. I think it won an Oscar for visual effects. Pretty much validating that this is something that is going to change the course of Hollywood forever, as far as movies go. And if you've seen movies, you know, any other action movie, they adopt a lot of they adopt a lot of the ideas from the Matrix into a lot of these action films now. Like, take Wanted for instance, Equilibrium, and a lot of other stuff. Like, there's a lot of Matrix-y tropes that are being used today and being polished over and stuff like that. But it's not new anymore. I don't know. Maybe I'm just I don't want to be too cynical about it because I am excited for it. I'm just confused about what they're doing with this. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't know why we need another one. You know what I mean? I mean, like, you bring Keanu Reeves back, you bring Carrie Ann Moss back, and then you recast Morpheus and everybody else. You get what I'm saying? Like, I just don't know what world this is anymore. Like, is Zion still Zion? Is there like a new version of that? And not to mention, Zion was the real world. You know what I mean? I need to understand what simulation that is. If that's a simulation at all, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just creates a lot of questions. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. These trailers have been really dope. These trailers have been epic. Every time I see them in the theater, I'm like, I can't wait to see this. You know, and then when I leave, I'm always like, what the fuck is this movie about? You know, and every time I see something new about this movie, it like confuses me and excites me at the same time. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I guess I'm just sort of worried that there's not going to be anything new being brought to the table, and all it is going to do is just kind of taint on the franchise's legacy. Um, but who knows? I could be floored. I could be surprised. I might think that this is the best, Matrix out of all of them. Who knows? I'm just curious about what this idea could bring, especially with um Lily not coming back. I think Lana is directing, and Lily's not here anymore. Or not, I mean, not here anymore, but she's not she's not with him, with her, with directing, because they both always had directed movies, and they both directed the Matrix. So for Lily to not come back, it's kind of like, oh, but who knows? I mean, if you see the documentaries, Lana was sort of like the one kind of carrying the keys, anyways. So who knows? I think she might do a great job. But you guys, let me know in the comments what you guys think about this. Are you guys worried about the Matrix Resurrections? Are you guys excited for it? I'm curious to see what they do with this one, but just let me guys know what you think in the comments below. Be excited to talk about that.